I've got something to say as well.
Oh, God. You've all got something to say.
That never ends well.
Don't sit anywhere near me. I don't like the smell of me.
Oh, heck.
Looks like a lactose intolerant bloodhound.
I don't care whether you're black, white, green, yellow, pink or purple.
Is he taking a handful of crazy pills?
I think he must have done.
I think it's a bizarre idea.
And nobody's talking about it.
Can I just say something very quickly about this?
Oh, I know you will, because you always do.
Can you imagine Lee Banks wiring up a radio studio?
Oh, yes, and then it would subsequently burn down.
Correct.
RTI. Enjoy.
Thank you very much indeed, Dave, Emperor Roscoe and everybody else. This is Postcard from Poprad. I'm Eric Wiltshire at the base of the glorious Tatry Mountains. And, boy, have we got a show for you. A bit sad at the beginning, but there you go. That's life. Hello to Lee Banks.
Hello, yeah, I know. I tell you what, honestly, I did a bit yesterday that said the elite of the dead, because there weren't any dead people, were there?
But there was.
And now there are now. Everybody's died.
Absolutely. Apart from Rach, who's there.
Yeah, you're all right. And you're Rach.
I'm not dead. I'm good. I'm super.
You're quiet, though.
Yeah, you're very
Am I?
quiet.
Yeah.
It's like you're speaking
Is that
from beyond the
better?
grave.
That's a lot better, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Very professional radio, this station's got.
I can't hear her.
What do you mean you can't hear her?
I can hear her now because she's speaking. She wasn't speaking.
Oh, Gilda
I'm sorry.
Bennett. How are you, Rach?
I'm good. Do you want to hear the update?
I want to hear the
go on then.
update about Rachel's shaving hair challenge.
My shave for a cure. Well, I had to reset my goal to $2,700, and then today I achieved that goal today.
Wow.
And then I had to reset it to $2,800, and then 10 minutes later I had to change it to $2,900.
Wow.
So we currently have $2,819 with 13 days to go.
I think you should just ramp it up to 5K, you know.
I was just going to say, $5,000, Rach. We'll publicise it
can't.
next week for you. Let's see if you get $5,000.
I will, but I think I'm running out of favours. I really had to lean on some people today.
Yes, send Robbie out.
Oh,
Robbie's up at actually, he's listening.
he's all covered in flies.
He's all covered in flies. He's up at the Pilbara, and
Yeah.
he's working very hard in very, very hot weather.
Right.
Because
And,
apparently he hasn't been up there for ages, has he?
No, not that part of the Pilbara. He was remember when he was doing the fly in, fly out a few years ago? He was
Yep.
in the Pilbara then, but a different part.
Oh,
So
right.
he's up at the Pilbara. But the great news is that because it's 3 hours earlier there,
Yeah.
he's awake to hear us.
Well, hello, Robbie.
Hello, Robbie. Are you in the tin shed drinking warm beer?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's what he does there.
Well, actually, no, it's not a bad idea, because if he's inside, the flies won't get him. So, yeah, Robbie, go inside, drink more beer.
Yeah, drink
healthy.
more beer, zip
Very
yourself
healthy.
up.
Absolutely. Hi to Hassan, to Airwolf, to Callie.
That's not Elvis, is it?
No, Airwolf.
Oh, Airwolf.
Hello to Anne, Conchita, and to
Who?
Conchita.
That's my ex-wife.
No, it's not.
Oh.
And that's a lovely Conchita. And hi to Paul Giron as well. Steve says, I've been ill this week.
Oh, poor boy. So have
Because
I.
he must have swallowed something Jeremy Corbyn fed him.
I couldn't have done that line better myself. Well, apparently Rach, he's had a migraine.
Oh, I sympathise deeply. I get those quite badly. They're horrendous, so I'm sorry about that.
They are a bit, aren't they?
But yeah,
A bit
Jeremy
of a
Corbyn gave it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dave the J Rhodes is in the house.
Hello, Dave.
I wonder if
Hi,
he's.
Dave.
I wonder if he's recovered from the picture. No, it wasn't rude. Before anybody thinks anything, I wonder if he's recovered from the picture I sent him earlier
Of our friend.
of our friend. She likes him.
I like him, but I don't send him pictures of me in me scanties.
It wasn't in scanties, you numpty.
Well, she had a black dress on. That's the equivalent to scanties.
Black dress is quality and chic.
She was a bit. She's a cheeky girl.
Cheeky, yeah.
Oh,
Actually, actually, apart from the face is a lot better than the cheeky girls, the other bodily attributes are very similar.
We're not talking about Alicia's bodily attributes.
Oh, all right.
That's what you and David do in private.
Oh, okay. Nothing more to be said on that one then. Where are we? Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, it's that big cable company called Prime in India. Have just come to say hello to
yeah.
us. Isn't that nice?
Hello,
yeah. By the
Prime.
way, there's a couple of guys out from India who were asking if they could put Postcard from Poprad on the cable channel, and you can take this as my permission to do so.
Yeah.
Because you've heard it now. Guys on Prime, you can take Postcard from Poprad and put it on your cable channel. It is not a problem. And if you need an email, just pop one to studio@rti.fm and I will confirm that for you.
Everybody should
And
just say hello.
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 It's a glorious, gorgeous Petra.
You creep.
No, she's gorgeous.
Petra.
She's gone now.
She's gone now, but she's still gorgeous.
She probably was overwhelmed by that hello.
Probably was, actually. We kick off today with Dick Churchill. He was the last surviving
Excuse me,
member.
can I have a thing up?
What? Oh, yeah, of course you can. He was the last surviving member of the real-life Great Escape Team who escaped from Germany's POW
Excuse
camps
me.
in World War II. And later on, the film was made starring Steve McQueen.
He's dead as well.
Yeah, he's dead as well. Dick was an English flight lieutenant in the Royal Air Force. He was one of 76 prisoners of war who escaped the conditions of Luft 3. And in March 1944, via a series of tunnels, he was one of the guys that escaped after digging the tunnels. What a guy!
Yeah, what
a guy!
Was he the one that Steve McQueen played?
I've got a vague feeling he was.
Can I just go over here and have a little cough?
You can. Later, he was freed by British forces, and in 2015, with the death of the lovely Paul Royal from Australia, Churchill became the last of the former POWs to survive. So second to last Australia, last one was us, which is, I'm not going to say it's sad, because I'm sure the guy had an amazing life, because with those
It's still
attributes...
sad when you die.
Well, it is, but with his attributes, he would only have ever been positive. You get my point?
I get your point, but
Yeah.
I think you're assuming there he might have been a bit fed up because of it all.
Well, he might have been, but I don't know.
I don't think so. No, I think
These
you're right,
these
yeah.
guys, it was rather like watching this week the final parts of the restoration of yet another World War II Spitfire,
Yeah.
which has been restored and is now flying again. Yes!
Can I just say something?
What a
though?
sound that
if you work this out, right? I didn't realise, but The Great Escape was made in 1963.
Yep.
Which was 20 or 19 years after the event, which would have made him probably in his mid-40s.
Yep.
Now, 63 is 50 years ago.
Blimey.
Yes.
Yeah, God, he was nearly 100 years old.
What a guy. He had to be positive to get
Yes.
there.
Well,
Come on.
yeah, positive, yeah. Or a bit fed up.
Are you going to ask me who's wearing Steve McQueen's watch?
Rachel, he goes on about this all the time. He has a Steve McQueen replica watch. I have.
It's not a replica.
It's not Steve McQueen's watch.
Well, he designed it.
but he's not his.
All right.
And I have a David Beckham watch on, and I don't even like football.
It's a fake.
He's not a fake.
I've got Chanel perfume, but what's the point?
Chanel's nice.
Hello, Petra is the message. We need more of her each week. Right. And apparently Dave's having a lie down.
I'm not surprised after getting that picture.
Steve, you sent him a picture of Margaret Thatcher. He'll never recover from that. Oh, silly boy.
Funny though.
Dave reckons he's got Steve McQueen's Mustang from Bullet. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Margaret Thatcher was a
Do
MILF.
you know how long the car is that Dave's got? About 5 centimetres.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the rest of your
That's a cute
attributes.
joke, bless.
Oh, he's admitted it's only a Matchbox one, though. Mia Farrow and Stephen Fry.
I know this is one of the ones that haven't done. What, we didn't have a look at that. Who it is?
Yeah, I know. Andre Previn has died.
No.
But you know what? I know you're going to call me coarse for this.
Yes, we are.
But the only thing I can remember about Andre Previn is the Morecambe and Wise show.
Really? Well, the only thing I can remember is that he adopted a nice Korean girl, and then she went off and married a stepfather. But you know, whatever.
Whatever.
We all remember
I
different
remember
things
him.
about different people.
I remember him for Gigi, Porgy and Bess. He didn't write them. Oh no, he works on the films, didn't he? My Fair Lady, Urban Ladouche. Yeah, he did all them. He was brilliant, and he was also very modern and very exciting.
Actually, he was incredibly normal as it goes.
I have to say that is a fair description.
Yeah,
really,
very, very normal. Beverly Owen was... What's up,
You're
Rach?
right, Rach.
Nothing. I was just listening to you two, and I always find it hilarious.
The original Marilyn in The Munsters. I like The Munsters.
You could be in the Monsters.
I could have been in The Munsters.
You could have been Uncle Fester.
I'd like to be Uncle Fester.
I could be Lurch.
No, I like to be Uncle Fester because he blew things up.
He used to be able to suck light bulbs.
Yeah.
And I could be Lurch.
That was the Addams Family.
Yes, it was actually.
And my hand could come out of...
The box.
Yeah.
You could be Thing.
Is that thing? No, I'm going to be Lurch.
I can be Uncle Fester in a
No,
couple
you're
weeks.
too pretty to be Uncle Fester. You've got to be ugly like
I
him.
can. I'll have a bald head like him.
Well, that's true.
Oh, aye, yeah. All right, you are Uncle Fester. Who are you going to be
Thank
then?
you.
Blimey, she's going to be like Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, better looking.
But-
Yeah, well, that's true.
Well,
Bit more-
maybe a bit more medicated than her.
True. The Cure drummer Andy Anderson has died after a battle with cancer, which is
really
really sad.
sad.
Very, very sad.
Very sad.
68. That's
Very,
no
very
age,
sad.
is it? Particularly when you've gone beyond that, Eric.
Yeah. Why did you say Eric at the end of that? Oh dear. Stanley Donen, the director and the dancing
Choreographer.
bloke, the dancing bloke,
Yeah.
on the town and singing in the rain.
This is a tragedy as well, isn't it, Rage? I know he's 94.
Brilliant, lovely, brilliant choreographer. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that fantastic number with Gene Kelly and lovely Debbie Reynolds and
Yeah.
Donald O'Connor when he ran up the wall, and you know that was
With his
terrific. It was
with
just-
his umbrella, and the
Yeah,
and
he
the
was
rubbish
great.
and the rubbish film studios pouring buckets of water over him.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you know, it was way back. We didn't have the cool effects we have today.
True, that's very true. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Singing in the Rain is the one I remember. I can visualise the film clip right now.
What film clip?
genius.
It was a whole film.
No, I can remember the film clip of the song "Singing in the Rain" in the film.
Is that
where-
all you know?
Well, yeah, that's the memorable part.
Oh, Rachel.
Why would I fill my head up with bits that aren't memorable?
How do you know they're not
know.
memorable if you can't remember them?
Well, that's
Exactly what you said, actually. Yeah.
Oh, Dave!
Oh,
Yes!
Dave, what?
Oh, I've forgotten his name, Dave.
Who?
Oh, Dave, tell me the man's name. Oh, Jeremy, thank you. Oh, Jeremy's nice. He's gone times 10. I love you. What a nice guy.
Ah,
Isn't that nice? And we should say, because someone's put the dragon up on the screen, that of course, Happy St David's Day.
Yeah.
oh yes.
Happy St David's Day.
Yeah.
Because I can see some Welsh people on the chat room.
Yeah.
Which is right. Hiya, Manos
Who's
as well.
there? Who's there from Wales? Are they
Jeremy.
all- Jeremy?
Yeah.
Who are you, Jeremy? Whereabouts do you live in
I
Wales?
don't know, but it's Jeremy H. Oh, it could be Jeremy Hunt.
Could be Jeremy Horbin.
But it could be Jeremy Hunt, the minister.
Oh, I thought you meant the racing driver.
It could be Jeremy. How are you?
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Do you know who else listens to RTI? I found out the other day.
No.
Who?
Fraser Hines.
Ah, but he does it through cans.
No, he doesn't.
Ah,
The former Doctor Who, Fraser Hines.
I know who you mean.
Yeah, he listens to the show.
Yeah, we knew that, didn't we?
that's cool.
That is rather cool.
Yeah.
What? You didn't know Mr. Corbyn listens to the show? No, he wouldn't. Well, he might.
He would.
What? I bet he does.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
he likes
He would
our
if-
left-wing
he would if
politics.
he's
Well,
into
that's
a
true.
bit of sadomasochism. He would probably.
Yeah,
listen to the show.
as Dave is frantically finding me the name of a person who I've not put on the list, and he's running around like a gaffer trying to tape it together.
I can give you one you didn't put on the
Gaffer
list. Do you want one you did? I can give you one.
What?
Do you want one you didn't put on the list?
Yeah.
This probably won't mean too much to you, but for our Australians, it will mean a lot. One of our most revered journalists and broadcasters passed away today from cancer. His name was Mike Willisey. The Williseys are a very famous broadcasting journalistic family in Australia. And
no.
Mike Willisey was responsible for launching the our 6:30
News bulletin
sort of
thing.
a current affair kind of show.
Yeah.
But also was a really hard-hitting, in-depth interviewer, and he was a really lovely man and very good at his job. And he died today, which was very, very sad.
Anyway, I can't remember the name, so I do apologise. But the gentleman that, developed and designed, whatever you want to call it, the technician's love of all loves, Mr. Gaffer Tape.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
He's died.
Wait, but
What did I say to you on your post? I said, I feel very, very sad, and it will pass, but it's going to take a while.
It'll tape a while.
I know, and I said he just couldn't stick it out.
And do you know who's Mr. Gaffer Tape to me?
No.
Who?
Dave Rhodes.
Dave Rhodes.
Dave Rhodes.
I've never seen a man use so much gaffer tape to do a disco in all my born days.
Seriously, it's the best invention.
What's it?
It's a great invention, gaffer tape.
It is.
I can't do links on the screen, David. It doesn't work. Sorry to hear Mick passed away. Great TV person.
Yeah.
Mike, yeah.
Yeah, that's from, Declan O'Callaghan.
Okay.
Declan O'Callaghan, sorry. Declan O'Callaghan. Obviously, Irish connection. I'm going to have so many difficult names this week.
No, you got to do her. You can't leave her out.
I'm not going to leave her out. Hilda
Zadek.
the first Jewish opera singer to appear on stage with the Vienna Opera following the end of the Second World War. She's died at the grand age of 101. What a lovely lady. What a lovely...
She's Hilda Zaded.
Yeah.
Rachel, that's disrespectful.
Was that off colour? Sorry.
Slightly was.
I can't tell anymore.
No, you can't. Mark Hollis, the frontman of the 80s band Talk, who went away into,
He disappeared, didn't he? He became a recluse.
Yeah, he was a bit of a recluse.
To carry on Rachel's comedy dead people thing, though, he can't talk anymore.
Oh, very droll.
No, and if he was a recluse before, he's really reclusive.
Yeah. But a bloke who was very much into punk as well, from the late 70s. Mark Hollis, we wish his family the best. And,
how old was he? 64, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was younger than you.
Oh! Well, I'm still alive.
Hi, Alex.
Yes.
How do you do, Alex? Lisa Sheridan, the actress is known for roles in *Halt and Catch Fire* and *Innovation*. She's died as well. She went to the school in Pittsburgh, I think.
Yeah, the Carnegie Mellon School.
Yeah. Now I know why she's memorable to me.
Why?
Because she was in NCIS.
Was she?
There you go.
Yeah, she was.
What did she play?
Yeah.
She was one of the NCIS investigators who was like there for a little while, but it was more of a bit part.
We don't even know. He could just be making this up, couldn't he?
She's only 44 years old.
Yeah,
and
she
they
was
still
only young.
haven't released as to why, but her family are saying that it's not a suicide.
No, absolutely not.
Oh my gosh! And do you know what else happened today? I've got to quickly tell you. This person isn't dead, but it's very serious. We all know who Luke Perry is.
Yeah.
Luke Perry from Beverly Hills 90210 back in the day.
Yes.
He had a massive stroke today.
No.
Ooh.
And he's 52 years old. He hasn't passed away from what I understand, but he's very, very sick and he's in hospital, so hopefully he'll get better.
Poor old Luke
We
Perry.
just got the name from Dave of the gaffer tape inventor. It was Ross Lowell. Thank you, Ross, for all the
Thank
things.
you.
You've saved my bacon many a time. You really have.
You didn't put your bacon in gaffer tape.
I had put the bacon on the floor, put my gaffer tape over the top, no one can nick it.
Oh, I get it. That's very clever.
My little brother says, "Afternoon, bro."
Afternoon.
Afternoon, Dave.
He's being very hip and down with the kids, isn't he?
Afternoon, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does he talk like you?
No, he's got this really broad Bedfordshire accent.
Oh,
It's very Lutonian, actually.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
Very, very
You know,
Lutonian.
I got told off for knowing about Luton yesterday.
For knowing about Luton?
Yeah, somebody told me off. Says, you don't live in Luton. I said, no, I don't live in Luton, but I have very good friends there and visit quite regularly. Says, you don't know anything about Luton. Yeah, no, stuff you then.
Well, that David and David who does the Soul Show on here, they've got very similar voices, very sort of Bedfordshire, Lutonian.
Can you do a Bedford accent?
No,
I can't.
I'm so far out of it, I can't do it anymore.
No, you don't do it like that. It's
No,
like that,
it's
isn't
a bit. That was a bit London, actually.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, yes.
Can I just say something very quickly?
No, finish with Lisa Sheridan.
She's dead. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but she was one of the few people that Gibbs didn't head slap on NCIS.
Go on then.
She didn't get a wallop from Gibbs.
No, right. Can I just say something?
Such a heathen.
Can I just say something?
NCIS.
Can I just say something?
NCIS.
Can I
Yes,
just
go
say
on.
something?
Go on.
Right, I was going to say something.
The producer says yes.
All I want to say, Rachel, is this is a
Yeah.
message from the ConsumerWatchFoundation.com.
Blimey,
Right?
that's 20 minutes.
I know, that's what I've just realised. This is a message from the ConsumerWatchFoundation.com. I would like to say that is the best cup of coffee I've ever had, and it was made by the gloriously, gorgeously, wonderfully, fabulously gorgeous Petra.
Anyway, my little brother says that Dave Francis is nothing like him. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is, Dave.
And we listen. Actually, I was listening to Dave this morning coming to work. A really good show. Absolutely brilliant show. He does 6 to 8. He does Thursday nights and it repeats at 6 to 8 on a Friday morning. It's the most amazing soul, sort of that 70s, 80s quality soul stuff with a bit of funk. And he loves having a quick funk on the radio. He does.
You did that on purpose.
I did do that on purpose. I wasn't. I'm not going to hide behind it. Anyway, being serious for a moment. This is Lee's story. Nuclear powers are having a bun fight again. That's Pakistan and India. And do you know, it does annoy me a bit because.
Why?
Well,
It would annoy you if you get blown up.
Well, when other people, I mean, even my not friend Putin. He's trying to calm down the nuclear stuff.
Yeah.
You've got Trump, not my friend.
Yeah.
Kimmy Jong-un, not my friend. They're all trying to calm things down.
Yeah.
And you get these two little uns, Pakistan and India.
But they're not that little. India and Pakistan aren't that little.
Well, they're not
They've
big.
got a very large nuclear power, both of them.
Yeah, and that's the reason this is a story is because
you put it on the script.
Yeah, but the reason I put it on the script is because this is the first time since 1962 that two major nuclear powers have actually come to blows. And, you know, North Korea...
They're always going to do it because Kashmir they can't agree about.
Oh, no, I like their jumpers.
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is them. This is the first time that there is actually a physical conflict between two nuclear powers in recent history. And it's very worrying indeed.
That's a good point, Steve. I don't know the answer to that.
Go on, then.
He said, are there any elections there soon? That could be a very valid point.
Why?
Because if there's an election in a country and the incumbent wants to show, I'm tough and I can do anything I want, and get re-elected, the best way to do it is have a bun fight with a neighbour you don't
blow
like.
everybody up with a nuclear bomb.
Something like that. Anyway, Rach kicks this...
This is very interesting.
This Brexit segue off.
I want to use this on
And
ConsumerWatchFoundation.com.
Do stay listening because we've got so much news, and it's not on every media outlet. It's on some and not others, and some and not others. Blah blah. Depends how it goes, and I have to say a lot of it depends on the political stance of that media company. We're neutral. So we're going to tell you it as it is, which is wonderful.
Yes.
Rach, off you go.
Well, let me tell you how I came to come across this email. When you are going overseas as an Australian, you register with Defence Force and Trade, and they will keep an eye on you in case you get in trouble if you're overseas. They also give you all these alerts about the countries that you're going to. And today I got, because I haven't switched them off since the last time I was overseas, so today I got an email from my government. And they said, alert for the United Kingdom.
Oh.
The United Kingdom, what?
I was being stupid.
He was being a child.
Oh, okay.
Carry on, Rachel. This is very interesting.
That's all right. The UK is scheduled to leave the European Union on the 29th of March.
Yes.
The UK is currently negotiating the terms of its exit with the EU. If you are an Australian living or working or travelling to the UK or EU, nothing will change in the short term, including for visa arrangements. This also applies to Australian British dual nationals. Australians who plan to continue living in the UK after it leaves the EU can use the UK's visa and immigration tool to seek guidance on visa status and rights to stay. The UK and EU are providing updated guidance on the negotiations and the implications for issues such as travel, residency, education and employment. You can check the latest information through the UK's Department for Exiting the European Union and the European Commission's preparedness notices. These websites will be the best source of up-to-date information on potential changes on your range of issues.
Rach, I'm going to have to stop you there for a minute because I'm going to argue with you now.
Oh, dear.
Well, don't argue with me. I didn't write it.
Well, no, but the point is I'm not so sure that some of the websites mentioned are actually up to speed for normal citizens. Whereas, and I know it's going to sound a bit eggy, but the fact is we've been compiling lists of stuff for our listeners on RTI to help them out a bit and probably shock one or two as well. But you're right in the context that anybody that wants to travel, it is best to go to your local agency, and at which point you can now carry on.
Exactly. And it's a really important point, because the rest of the things we're going to do, which I think are incredible, right, are things that are supporting the UK in what we are about to do. And the sad thing is, the idiots of the UK are not supporting us.
Marvellous. Marvellous. Off you go, Rach.
Do you want me to finish?
Yes, please.
Okay. It says consider signing up to notifications to keep updated on issues relevant to you. You could also contact your service provider directly to check if and when there will be changes to contracts and or consumer services provided as a result of Brexit. Consider whether you should seek legal advice or engage in a migration agent, insurance broker, or any other type of consultant to support you. Further information, UK decision to leave the EU, Brexit, DFAT, UK, blah, 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 blah. Information for UK nationals travelling to the EU, and that can go. You get those from the UK government. But isn't that interesting? They sent me this entire blurb about it.
Absolutely. No, I think it's a good thing.
It is a good thing, Rach.
I agree.
It's a positive thing about Brexit.
It's a good.
If they're not using the correct resources, or they're not naming the correct resources, I think it's our obligation to send it to said government.
Absolutely.
I do, yeah.
Good afternoon to Juan, who's joined us.
Is he by himself?
No.
Oh, that's why he's won.
Juan, not one. He's such an oaf, Juan. He really is. Hi to Phoebe as well, and Carrier. I'll get through some more names as we can. We move on to some other news, which is kind of interesting. More snubs for Brussels.
This is amazing too.
This is a great story. And I'm going to have to sort of paraphrase this down a little bit, because otherwise we get into all the waffle that goes with it, and it's not important. Spain has agreed a deal with the UK.
Yep.
Meaning that pensions and healthcare, if you're listening in Spain, your pensions and healthcare, if you're a UK citizen, remain as they are now post-Brexit.
Yes.
So stop worrying, calm down, chill out.
Calm down.
Because the deal has been done between Spain and the UK, and there will be a lot more of them. We'll give you a couple of more now. That Slovakia is doing deals as well, in principle, to allow Brits to use their existing driving licence post-Brexit, along with other UK SVK joint agreements, SVK Slovakia. There's a lot going on to enable what is standard now to be standard post-Brexit. So well done to the negotiators in Bratislava for Slovakia. And then in comes the next biggie of all, which I love to bits. There's a thing called the Norwegian Fund, which is used all over the EU. And everybody thinks it's just exclusively for the EU. It is not. The Norwegian fund have said that they're going to invest £750 billion. £750 billion is going to be invested. Where is most of it going? The UK.
Exactly. Could I just say something?
£750 billion.
There is a point I'd like to make here, and I think it's a good point to make at this point. I have been taken to task in recent weeks and for a long time over the fact that I appear to support us leaving the European Union.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't support us leaving the European Union. I didn't vote to leave the European Union. But when the writing was on the wall that actually it looked very much like we're going to do it, yes, we have this little bit of a hiatus at the moment, but in principle it looks like we're going to do it. I then got behind it to say, right, let's get on with it. Let's make the best of it. Business people, other people, don't turn over and die just because things haven't gone their way. And yet Britain is still filled, and I'm talking about you, Graham Ledger, I'm talking about you, Jeremy Corbyn, I'm talking about you, Dorothy, I'm talking about all sorts of people who still bounce out and say that Britain is going to die because of Brexit. We will not. And it's because at the end of the day, things like this will happen. People see the strength of what we are doing. Let's get on with it and be proud of what we're doing. Doesn't mean we wanted it in the first place, but we've got it.
I'm grimacing.
We love it. We love the idea of Brexit. It opens up so much trade.
Yeah, because you don't live here.
It's genius.
No,
It's genius.
I'm torn, and the balance of the scales is in opening my mouth and probably putting my foot in it.
Do it. It's funny.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny.
You want me to do it?
I want you to put your foot in it.
Okay. I actually would like the UK to stay in a reformed version of the ECEU.
Yes.
The version of the ECEU I would like is free movement of people, free movement of goods, and zero politics. Thereby getting rid of Brussels altogether, getting rid of all the hangers-on. You could cut the staff down to about 50 to 70, like WTO. Which reminds me, of course, Britain has now been accepted back into WTO.
That's another positive.
Yeah. And so the actual powers that Brussels are thinking that they held over the UK, and I have to say this is political pressure, not business pressure. They're not thinking about the people. They're not thinking about the business. No. This is politics. And that kind of loony Germany who says, we should be in a social state. Yeah, right. We'd be in a state if we had you in charge.
Oh, my gosh. Remember the last time Germany decided being in a social state was a great idea?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, to get back to... There was a really poignant comment from the Norwegian thing. And it's from their chief executive. And it says, as a significant investor in the UK, despite Brexit, the fund has a long-term investment view of 30 years and expects its UK investments to rise during that period. And basically what he's saying after that, and his quote, without time horizons, which is about 30 years plus, current political discussions do not change our view of the situation. He's really blowing a raspberry at Brussels, isn't he?
Of course he is. Can we also point out, and this is just yet another positive, that actually the pound is up against the euro?
Yep, it certainly is. So anyway, the great news is that WTO's been approved. I bet there's some people in Brussels really grimacing. Serves you right. Spain has agreed things. Slovakia's agreed things. Greece has already agreed some stuff. Other EU countries, the Netherlands, for example, all have done it. And you know, when you start to look at the numbers, they are growing dramatically.
Yeah.
So Brussels, you're getting in the minority.
Of course you are.
Blinking idiots.
All you'll have left is sprouts. Do they grow sprouts in Brussels? Is that why they're called Brussels sprouts?
No, I thought that was because of Boy Scouts. Oh, sorry, no, wrong one.
Right.
Anyway, another great thing for the UK, which I think is one, and I'm sure Rach is going to love this.
I always love things.
Oh, but this is very you, dear. This is really you. To compete with Netflix, there's going to be a thing called BritBox. And BritBox is a combined project from the BBC and ITV. And what it is quintessentially British. It's a television box, works on the internet, like Netflix, and it will be a collection of British box sets and original series. But get this, you lot out there, it's going to have things like, Rach isn't going to like this.
Go on.
It's going to have Good Morning Britain on it.
Yeah, but here's the problem with this.
Oh, yeah, I knew that was coming. Do you know what I was called, Rach, last year?
What?
A poor man's Piers Morgan.
Oh my God, that's the worst insult of all.
Piers Morgan is a very,
Morgan
very
is the-
good interviewer.
He's good.
Piers Morgan is a pontificating blowhard who is his own poor man's Piers Morgan.
Can I just tell you what's wrong with this BBC and ITV collaboration, please?
Go on.
The BBC, despite all the things that are said about it, turns out probably the best drama in the world.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And ITV turns out just about the worst.
No, they do some good dramas.
Not very
as well.
much, not
But
very
they
often.
do.
Not like the BBC. What they will do is dumb down the artistry of the BBC's drama, and we'll end up with everything looking like Emmerdale.
No, I don't think so,
Ugh.
because, I mean, they're putting EastEnders on there, for example.
Well, yeah, that's what I just said. It looks like Emmerdale. EastEnders, what a load of rubbish.
40 Towers?
Bring back up.
Faulty Towers, but that's a hit, and that's not new.
Well,
If you check out, right, I do, on occasions, look at ITV Hub. You know what films they've got on ITV Hub at the moment, right? This is true.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 4 films, of 3 of which are carry-on films.
they're good.
They're good, but it's not cutting-edge drama, is
Well,
it?
there isn't any cutting-edge drama. How can there be cutting-edge drama when most of the drama is based on historical books? You can't make historical books from now, because if you write them today, you've got to wait 100 years for them to become historical books and then become drama.
How was The Black Widow based on
that? That was a
historical
very
books?
Well,
that's
Go on,
one.
that was
Rich. Yeah.
that was a very convoluted train of thought, Uncle Eric.
Was it?
really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how was The Bodyguard based on a historical book? How was all the other things? Like, all right, Les Miserables was, but what a brilliant way of presenting Les Miserables.
Yes.
Jimmy Lurch
And
one.
what do you think they have to have a category at the Oscars for Best Original Screenplay?
Yeah.
That's not based on an historical book. That
No.
comes out of someone's imagination.
Was Star Wars based on an historical
Oscar's a
book?
character in a cartoon.
Do you know the BBC was the only thing that had the guts to make Gormenghast? And what a fabulous Mervyn Peake, one of the world's greatest writers, and the BBC made Gormenghast.
Whoosh.
That's nothing to be proud of. That's nothing to be
Bring
proud
back
of.
Dave Allen.
Bring back Dave Allen, I agree. But they are bringing back Knight Rider.
Oh, that's terrible. That's trivial.
You can't say anything, can you?
No,
No,
I can't.
it's
This is a
horrendous.
secret
I
that you
can.
shouldn't have shared.
It's not from you.
I can
Who
say
said
things.
that?
I can say
Who
a lot
said
of things
that?
about that.
It's actually the Hoff has made a statement about it.
Naughty Hoff.
Yeah, there's a statement.
Yeah, well, anyway, we'll share that because we have a secret, don't we?
But we can't say anything.
We have said it in the past.
Have we?
We've said it quite a lot in the past, but we can't say it now.
But we didn't actually attribute it to the new show, did we?
Oh, no.
That's all right.
Oh, that's all right.
Facebook has removed social media pages controlled by the British far-right activist Tommy Robinson for repeatedly violating its hate speech policies.
Yeah.
Facebook, I hate you.
Not in this case.
I do.
Not in this case.
I do. I really hate them.
Transmission. End transmission now.
Do you know why? because
Why?
they're getting into trouble for hate speech. So what they've done is gone for something that they know will create a headline.
Yeah.
The normal hate speech, which goes to normal people, they are not addressing it.
Oh no, I understand that. Yes,
That's why I don't like them.
But actually, now you have to look at it in a sensible way, though. If you take down somebody like the heinous Tommy Robinson, right, for his hate speech, which a lot of people say he doesn't create hate speech, just listen to him, right? Then what you do by creating that headline is put other people off actually doing hate speech as well. So it actually does have a positive effect. But also read the Consumer Watch Foundation and see what Facebook is doing to good causes and people who are trying to make a good in this world.
Correct.
They are banning them. Go to the Consumer Watch Foundation and look at what Facebook are really doing to people.
I was rather annoyed with I'll call it associate. I think it's probably a Facebook.
An associate.
Rather than friend, associate's the best word. And it's more apt. Who was being accused of having a child. The child was then dumped. And said child decided to put something very defamatory on Facebook. I reported it to Facebook, and they came back and said, doesn't breach our rules.
No, it doesn't. They have a community that has no relevance to the real world community, and they get offended by people showing all sorts of things that are not offensive at all.
And on
real offensiveness is a lead.
What do they call them? It's burkini, isn't it? The bikini that's a burqa.
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah. Okay. Now, there was a lady swimming in Aqua City near us, and she was wearing a burkini, thank you. With a child, in the pool, was all lovely. And some bloke was ranting on Facebook about how disgusting she was. She never took a bath. She was in her day clothes. Really offensive, racist remarks. It took me 6 months to get rid of it. And I fought it because I was annoyed with this, probably the same as Tommy Robinson, far-right Nazi, attacking this Muslim lady for no reason whatsoever. She did not deserve to be the recipient of those racist remarks. She's probably cleaner than the idiot that wrote them.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't have a bath.
Yeah.
And that is what annoys me about the double standards. And I will give this statement to Facebook now. If you're listening, take notes. You can cut us off if you want. I don't care because we've got plenty of other places. We don't need you. The bottom line is I am putting all this lot together and it's going to go in a recorded delivery printed letter to Nick Clegg.
With the Consumer Watch Foundation story and our findings too.
Yep.
We've actually addressed Nick Clegg publicly this week in an open letter and asked for him to reply. Of course, we've had nothing.
You won't. Oh, God.
£4 million he gets paid for this job to be the face of Facebook,
Yeah, I know.
He's got a lovely house in California.
It looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Absolutely got a big swimming pool, everything.
Yeah.
Well done, Nick. Why don't you do the job you've been asked to do?
No, but he's only going to do it with politicians, mate.
Well, that's it. It's because you're a politician, isn't it? Yeah.
Hi, Vito. This is rather concerning. Guys, I need your help.
Hang on.
Are you ready, Rach?
Oh.
Yes.
Right. Steve says, talking about books,
Yes.
which has made me go cold in the first place.
Yes.
And all my hair stood on end thinking, that is so un-eco-friendly. Sorry.
What?
You haven't got much yet to stand on end.
No, but, no, books are not eco-friendly.
Well, they are really.
No.
They are, and I can explain why.
No, because you cut a tree down, you make a book.
Yeah.
You get bored with it, fed up, so you scroll it, you sort of scrunch it up into little rolls, you put it in the fireplace and burn it.
You don't do that.
You
That's
do
two
not.
times. Oh.
That is absolutely untrue. That is sacrilege. That is like walking into a church and taking a dump.
Rage! Yeah, we're supposed to be the rude one. No, in your case, it's called laying a cable anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
There you go.
But,
Anyway, can I finish the comment?
no.
Well, I've
Yeah.
got to.
Go on.
It says,
Well, no, it's silly,
Eric
but yeah, right.
with a K. It's Eric with a C, don't you know? You need to write your memoirs. Mm-hmm. Oh, dear.
But that would be a book. And
Well,
you
we're
can't
not saying
do
anything
that.
about that, are we? Oh, you did the little widdly mouth thing.
Grimace.
That's a book. You
Is
can't
it?
write a book. You can't write a memoir. It's a book. You'd have to write a biographical leaflet.
Biographical leaflets. Are you insinuating my life is so useless that it only fits into a leaflet now?
No, I'm saying
Could be a
you
big
have got a
leaflet.
principled argument against books, so you can't have a book.
Right, very
Can't
quick.
have a book.
Rach, I need you to address this quickly for me because I've got a lot more to get in. And which I find really stupid of the Australian courts because of the interweb. Off you go.
Oh, well, we had a very large case, which you guys would all have heard about. Cardinal George Pell has been convicted of child molestation, and he is now currently in a prison here in Melbourne, not about to leave anytime soon until he is sentenced. And this conviction was actually handed down in December. But we, Joe Public in Australia, didn't find out about it until this week because a judge had ordered a gag. There was a suppression order on the media. They were not allowed to report it. The reason they gave was that there was to be a second trial and they didn't want to pollute a second jury. Now, anybody with access to Google would know how to Google George Pell and get access to publications such as the Washington Post and many more about this conviction when it happened. A lot of us already knew about it, but we didn't get the gory details until this week. And I just think what an archaic and old-fashioned rule this is, given the fact that we now have all this information at our digital fingertips. It is ridiculous to
Well, Laura
try
Kay's just sent you one message with one word.
What?
Disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely
But
disgusting.
why is it disgusting? The
Because
problem,
they're suppressing the media.
No, but I am all against the suppression of the media and the coverage of news. But there are still, and this is the problem with the new age meeting the old age head on. There are rules set down within courts that you can have a court hearing in camera if, in fact, it will affect another trial.
Correct.
And that rule still exists. Therefore, they were put in this invidious position where they had to enact that rule, but even against the background of the fact that this was going to be published all over the world, including on the Consumer Watch Foundation.
Which makes the law farcical.
But then
Can I just
nobody's
clarify
repealed
something?
the law
Yes,
yet.
yeah, Rach.
I think the disgusting comment that we got was because of Cardinal's behaviour. Not
Oh yeah. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
It just seemed like a bit of a laugh to me. I thought, well, I understand what you're saying, Uncle Lee, and you're quite right. It's a matter of law, and matters of law are what they are.
Yeah.
And until they are turned around, that is the rule, and that is what will happen.
The
but
danger
journalists
is
here are arguing that it now needs to be reviewed because it's no longer applicable. It's a bit hard to police.
You see, what I don't understand about this, Rach, is for any newspaper like the Washington Post or any of the others, that hearing actually had to be a public hearing for them to be there. And then to make the findings of that public hearing then become secret, there is something that is particularly wrong with it. If the whole hearing had originally been held in camera, then yes, then you would understand it. But yes, there is something quite wrong about what's gone on here. You're quite right, Rach, yeah.
But
Very much.
I think Rachel's point is right, that it's 2019 and a lot of laws need to be readdressed.
Of course they do.
But then how do you do that on a global scale? Because, all right, you can take Google or Facebook that have an office in America. They also have offices in the EU via islands. So which law applies? Now, this is just actually a public service information bit. If you're in the UK, the law is that even if you post something on Facebook or anywhere online, can be Twitter, any social media, website, whatever, if it is that you defame somebody on there, you can get caught under UK law, even though it's Facebook, which you consider to be American or Irish-based where the servers are, it doesn't matter. If you are the author of content in the UK and you break the law, you can be taken to court. And actually, if it's defamation, you can be not fined, you can be forced to give out compensation, which could take your house away.
Yeah. And quite right, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's actually one more little thing I wanted to say about this before I put it to bed for the next
Bearing in
while.
mind, everybody, this is a British radio station that is quite happy to talk about issues in Australia because we are not governed by Australian law.
Yeah.
No, you're not. And I am not a journalist, and I can say what I like, so that's always pretty interesting. But the other thing that came out of this that I found, there was a lot about this that was really disturbing, but the thing that disturbed me the most was that George Pell's lawyer, in summing up, in his argument, said that the nature of these assaults were, and I quote, vanilla.
Really?
They were plain, ordinary assaults, so they're not a big deal. And I thought, are you kidding me with this? This is you're talking about victims. The two victims in this case, one of them has died, and he died from a heroin overdose. He was so badly damaged in his life, he became a drug addict and died. And the other one has got acute mental illnesses, and you do not call these things vanilla. If you are taking advantage of a child, there is nothing vanilla about that.
Okay, yeah, indeed, I couldn't agree with you more.
Can I just...
no, we need to lighten up a little bit because we've got a lot more getting as well. First of all, is it defamation? Ready?
Yeah.
This is from Steve. Is it defamation if I said Lee can't take his ale?
No.
I wouldn't say that was defamation, but it's fighting talk.
It's not. It's also not true.
Every week
I've seen it.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. No, so can Robbie take his ale?
He can't
Robbie
take
can
his
take his
ale.
ale.
He's a big girl.
Rubbish.
He's going to be a bit. That was my fault that he's a big girl because I don't drink, and he doesn't tend to drink by himself, so he doesn't
True.
drink a lot either.
Okay, hi, Mohammed. This is the second one of these kind of stories. The first one was a couple of years ago when a poor guy from Poland died. He was an old age pensioner in the UK and left behind a dog. And the RSPCA had a dickens of a job. They had to teach the dog English because this poor dog couldn't understand a word, which is really sad. But the good news is language has reunited an African grey parrot with Lubomir Mishna, and Lubomir lost his parrot in Dublin Airport. And they found this parrot wandering around Dublin Airport, and the animal people rescued it. And they obviously, how do they know who the owner is? So what they did is they got Lubomir to record some Slovak.
Yeah.
And the minute that the parrot heard the Slovak, he was and all excited. And so they...
I wish you could have seen him doing the parrot then.
Oh my God, I wish I could have too.
Yes, right. Alex D says, I'm going back a bit. Article 11 EU law as of September 2018 covers some aspects of freedom of speech and law. You're quite right, Alex, it does, but it's also superseded in many member states by other laws, especially Italy, for example, where in Italy the laws are a lot stronger than they are in the UK.
We are one of the most hamstrung countries in the world. Britain is, as far as any kind of freedom of speech, and people don't realise that.
Anyway, good luck to the parrot. Lovely to have him back. And Dubry Den, yes, EU is adoptive. Correct, Alex. You're dead right there, sir. There's a lot of myths about that where people go, do you know what? It's that rotten, horrible EU. And actually, a lot of times it's not. It's absolutely not the EU. It's the member state that either does or doesn't adopt a law. The trouble with the British is they just seem to adopt everything. Rach!
Yeah?
You naughty girl!
What did I do?
You put a snake inside a shoe.
I didn't. I didn't this week.
You didn't this week?
I didn't do that this week. I promised I wouldn't. I promised Robbie I wouldn't do that while he was away.
Ah, right.
this poor lady, it's actually really funny. She got home to, I think, was it Scotland?
Yes.
Yeah, she got home to Scotland, and she unpacked her case, and there was a snake in her shoe. But she noticed it there when she was packing, but thought it was a pretend snake that somebody had put in there as a joke.
Yeah.
And then she opened it up, and there it was. Non-venomous, spotted python. They won't hurt you. They'll give you a fright, but they won't hurt you.
Any snake gives me a fright.
I know.
So they had to come out and get somebody to take the snake away. But I think the snake did very well to last all that long.
I think you're quite right, especially in the cold. Steve wants to know if the parrot did the birdie song.
No, it'd been that upset, it'd have gone to seed.
Oh, no. But anyway, yes, the snake went all the way from Australia to Scotland. And it was but apparently she doesn't want to go back to Australia because she's too scared now.
Why?
Well,
Because he's got
silly.
snakes there.
She got a non-venomous spotted python. That wouldn't hurt her. Wouldn't have even bit her. They're really, really, really calm and really lovely.
Are they?
You could
Do
take it
you
for a
know what
walk.
my young 8-year-old daughter did once when she was 8?
Oh, I do. It's that horrible.
She knew I was very scared of snakes, which I was. And we went to it was actually the launch of Animal Planet in Europe. And I asked the PR people if Caroline could come with me because she loved animals, and they said yes. So she was taking the mickey. There was this yellow and white, it was about 3 metres long python. And I remember it was yellow and white.
I know.
And she got the picture of me because she said, Daddy's scared of snakes. And everybody laughed. Daddy's really scared of snakes. So they put this python round me neck.
Oh.
The sweat was profuse.
What, on the snake?
On me.
Ooh.
Oh, I needed tissues to dry my furrowed brow.
They're attracted to the warmth. That wouldn't have helped.
Was that what it was?
Yep. And then
well.
they'll start to constrict if necessary.
Okay. We're going to have to crash through the last final stories. A guy from Vodafone was taking the mickey out of staff by wearing See You Jimmy hat. See You Jimmy, a hat with iron brew, as he was about to tell the people up in Scotland, in
They're
Glasgow,
losing the jobs.
that they were losing their jobs.
What a knob.
What a dork.
What a numpty.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rach. Numpty of the Week award.
What about a No, I can't say that.
No, stop. No, don't go there.
Nope.
Horrific news for me and Lee, especially Lee as it's still sort of fresh in his mind. A man from Denmark has finally got relief from years of unexplained acute blocked nose.
How?
When doctors discovered he'd got a tooth growing inside his nose.
Oh, no.
Gosh.
And he had to have it operated on and taken out like a normal tooth.
That would have been a wisdom tooth. I remember when I got mine taken out, they take lots and lots of x-rays from lots of different angles, because in wisdom teeth, some of them can become impacted, and the
Yes.
roots start growing into your nasal canal, into your sinus.
Yeah,
So they had to be
absolutely.
very, very careful when they took it out. So that must be what happened to him.
Yeah. Oh, Alex is really clever. I like that, Alex.
Go on, Alex.
He's done a graphic of a snake
Yeah.
and a shoe and said, snake in a shoe. He's done little graphics on the
I
screen.
can see it, I can see it. Yeah, I'm not blind.
We know there was definitely a snake on a plane.
Well, that's true.
Is there something called a shoe snake?
Oh, we must all say quickly hello to Rob.
Hello, Rob. Who's Rob?
Robbie!
Robbie.
That Robbie.
Yeah, we got to
Robbie
say...
Bear!
Yeah, apparently you don't drink anymore, Robbie, because you're a big girl.
Yeah, right. Robbie Bear is there. We got to say... so, Rach, it comes to that time where, bearing in mind your husband is listening to the show...
Yes.
where you have to tell everybody what you're doing at the weekend. I have given you the public service announcement warning that your husband is listening. Your husband is listening to what you're about to say.
Oh, okay. Well, tomorrow I have to go to work quite early.
Oh.
And then I got to come home and grab Gordy and go out to my brother's place and have dinner.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, one of my friends and I are going out to visit Beth at the hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
So
when are
you doing the washing, ironing and cleaning then?
Oh, that's already done.
Oh, you've done that already?
What's
Yeah.
more worrying is she said she's going to grab Gordy and go to her brother's and have dinner. You can't eat Gordy.
No, I can't eat Gordy. We're going to eat something else. Gordy's going to be free of
Rob's only comment is, "G'day, boys."
There you go.
Guys, sorry, not boys, guys. G'day, guys.
G'day, Robbie.
G'day,
Robbie.
So basically, your husband's away working, and you're having a girly weekend on your own, just having fun.
And eating your dog.
Yeah. Oh, no, not too much fun. I've got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's terrible. That'll give you a lift.
Dear, oh dear. Lee?
What?
You're helping me tomorrow, aren't you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Helping me take the top off my bike to put a new battery in.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. I'm helping him take his thing off his what's-it so he can put a battery in it.
There's no answer to that at all, is there? There really isn't.
None.
Rach,
Yes.
time to say goodbye and blow a kiss to your husband.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, Robbie. I miss you. Come home. I love you.
Before she eats the dog.
Yeah, but she didn't blow him a kiss, did she?
No, she didn't blow your kiss, Robbie.
Ah, my ear is all wet now.
Now that's just a bit of static, Rob.
Say goodbye, Sooty.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
And from me, Eric Welch, have a great week till next week. Keep it here, keep it RTI. And don't forget, it's that Steve Bishop fella who's up next.
The Station of the Stars. RTI.